Hello and welcome into Danbury Arena for an FPHL matchup between the Danbury Hat-Tricks and the Port Huron Prowlers. I'm Josh Starr. I'm joined by Jim Cerny, and the Hat-Tricks come in on a 5-game win streak, 10-3-1 on the season, and things are going pretty well right now for Danbury.
To say the least, second in the league right now behind Watertown. And the most recent game played by Danbury in this arena last Wednesday was a pretty impressive 4-1 win against Watertown. So they, picked up a little ground on the first place Wolves in that one and continued the roll. They've won 5 in a row, as you pointed out, 6 of 7. They're 6-1 on home ice this season, and now they face Port Huron for 3 games and 3 nights in this building, so that's going to be a tough test.
They started the season off strong, 4 straight wins, a little bit of a rocky middle stretch, and now 5 in a row. They come home, Brian Wilson in the net tonight. Over the short break for the Hat-Tricks, he was called up to the ECHL. He's been good, a .971 save percentage, just 2 goals allowed in 3 games.
Yeah, he's been very, very good, and he got his test against Watertown, and I know Watertown didn't have their full contingent, their full roster in the game last Wednesday. But that's a good team. That's the first place team, and Brian Wilson stood tall in that one, allowed just 1 goal. It's allowed only 2 goals in 3 starts so far, including 1 shutout of Delaware. He's been the rock, and Dave McIsaac says that they're going to ride him. As you mentioned, he got called up to the ECHL. He backed up in Worcester, but he's back here. No fear, Danbury fans. He's back in the building, and he's your starting goaltender tonight.
The captain tonight, as always, Johnny Ruiz, a point in all 14 games this season. 4th in the league with 22 points, 2nd with 14 goals. He's had a strong start.
So consistent. That's what he's been. And Johnny and I were talking about this earlier in the week. He says his offensive consistency is coming from the fact that he's more diligent defensively. He said he's creating so many more opportunities by being in the right place, either in the neutral zone or in his own zone, and then coming back the other way. And that is setting a great example for his teammates as well. Johnny's been terrific. 14 goals, 8 assists so far on the season.
On the other side, Dalton Jay, 22 points, tied with Ruiz for that 4th spot in the FPHL. Hat-Tricks will have their hands full with him on the other side.
Yeah, to say the least. And Dalton Jay, 10 of those points have come against Danbury this season. These teams have played 4 times already. Danbury's won 3 of the 4 games, and Dalton Jay has lit it up in all 4 of the games. So certainly they'll have to keep an eye on him.
This will be the first time he'll have to face Brian Wilson, so we'll see how that matchup plays out. Thanks for tuning in with us here. We'll have the opening face-off and the starting lineups coming up right after this on Hat-Tricks TV. The Hat-Tricks and the Prowlers coming up next. Just about ready for puck drop here from Danbury Arena. Josh Starr with Jim Cerny, and the Hat-Tricks and the Prowlers just about to do battle. The Hat-Tricks at 10-3-1, 29 points second in the FPHL. Port Huron at 6-7-1, 18 points and sixth in the league. The PR Electric starting lineup for the Hat-Tricks tonight. Gordy Bonnell on the left wing, Johnny Ruiz at center, the captain, a point in every game so far this season, and Corey Anderson on the right wing. Aaron Atwell and Steve Brown, the D pair, and Brian Wilson in goal for the Hat-Tricks. For Port Huron, it's Corey Simons in net, Zach Versura, Dalton J, and Matt Graham, the forward line, and Alex Johnson and Austin Federley, the D pair. Port Huron will wear the white road jerseys, red stripe right across with that Port Huron logo right in the center. The Hat-Tricks in the home blacks. The rabbit in the hat right on the front. And black helmets, orange trim all the way around. We are set for action here from Danbury. Johnny Ruiz to take the draw against Matt Graham for Port Huron, and Ruiz wins the drawback to Aaron Atwell at his own line. Through center, right to Ruiz, into the zone, top of the slot, and gets upended at the top of the circles, and it will be pushed right back out to center. Steve Brown in his own zone, 20 seconds in, outletting for Ruiz, who will tip in off of Johnson's stick and deep into the far corner of the Port Huron zone. Scooped off the glass and out to center. Brown will take over and pump right back into the Port Huron zone. Prowlers on it, behind their own net, 30 seconds in. Federley working his way up towards center, leaves it off to the right wing, Graham, who dumps in behind the Hat-Tricks net. Wilson, a little bit of trouble with the puck for Sura in on the forecheck. Hat-Tricks dig away at it, get it to the corner. Kuznetsov turns it over behind the net, and the Hat-Tricks right back to it. Jesso pokes forward with one hand on the stick to Kuznetsov, who will jet through center. Across the line is Zach Lazaro, right circle, and the shot from Kuznetsov high and wide of the net. Far side, it's played right back into the near corner where Jesso takes over. Susi from the point, shot stopped down. Jesso out in front, the shot scores! 1:07 into the first period. The Hat-Tricks take the lead. Dustin Jesso. Jesso gets his fifth of the year, and the Hat-Tricks are up early, 1-0 Danbury.
Well, Danbury catches a break here. They do some good work in the offensive zone, working the puck around. Jesso gets it back to Susi at the right point. Susi's shot is blocked, but nobody picks up the puck. So Jesso skates in, grabs it, and then it's just mano-a-mano, one-on-one against the goaltender Simons, and Jesso is able to beat him for his fifth of the season. A quick early goal, just 67 seconds in.
The official scoring is Jesso from Lazaro only. We believe Susi should get an assist on that. We'll see if that gets changed. Face-off coming out to the neutral zone, 1:17 in. Steve Mealy to take the draw. It's won by Lambden, and Port Huron will outlet. Through center, Soilis across the near wing. Banks it into the hat-trick zone and will chase it himself. McDonald missing the last game against Watertown, gloves it forward, and it will be Tom Mealy who outlets right back to McDonald through center. Steve Mealy takes over, backhands all the way into the Port Huron end, and it's taken behind the net there. The Prowlers trying to outlet, and it's Lambden who will carry to center. Lambden through center gets upended and into the hat-trick zone. Gallagher will take over. Gallagher through center up the right wing. Banks it off the half wall near side all the way to himself in the corner behind the net. Out in front, it bounces around and it was pushed into the corner by Roseboom. Near side, Manzo playing it up, and Crawford will find it in center. Turning back to his own zone to Manzo near circle in the Port Huron end. Over to Roseboom, and it's tipped in with one hand by Williams. All the way behind the Hat-Tricks net, the backhand from Wilson to the near side. It bounces up the boards, and Ruiz blocks a shot and will carry to center. Ruiz working by Roseboom. Ruiz at the circle, tries to go 5-hole. It was stopped by Simons. Up the near boards, Bonnell forces the puck right back in to Anderson. Top of the circle, drops it for Ruiz, and it was behind him. He's able to play it forward to Bonnell, who has it, fires, scores! Gordy Bonnell! 2 early goals for the Hat-Tricks. It's 2-0 Danbury. Just 2:46 into play.
What a start. The whole time that, where Danbury took the puck over in the neutral zone and then skated into the offensive zone, and Ruiz had the break in for the opportunity, and then leading up to Bonnell's goal here, as we just took a look at it, I was thinking, boy, what a great start. Danbury is really skating off the shoot here, and boy, they've benefited from that with the quick 2-0 lead.
The Hat-Tricks able to scoop to center. It's been a flying start for Danbury so far. 2 goals in the first 3 minutes of the game, and they lead. Looking for more here as Jesso gets in on the forecheck. Johnson plays forward off a stick and deep into the Hat-Trick zone. Brian Wilson out of his net. Turns it over. Jay on the far wing. Centering pass for Graham off a Hat-Trick's body and back to the corner. Jay working around the back of the net is sealed off the puck. Jesso working back into his own zone. At the near point, Lambden plays it down low. Scooped in front by Daniluk, but Tom Mealy there for the Hat-Tricks to clean it up and drop it for Aaron Atwell. Just about 4 minutes played. The Hat-Tricks lead 2-0. Brett Jackson through center. Dumps in behind the net. Tom Mealy there for Danbury. Behind will leave it back into the near corner. Jackson chasing after it. Will look for the point. He has Gallagher. The tip in front. Steve Mealy. Now Tom's rebound chance is stopped. Maybe got to Simons. Maybe was blocked. But the Hat-Tricks have it right back out in front. Steve Mealy working around. The shot stopped by Simons somehow. Side of the net. And Danbury can't find the rebound. Just over 4 in. A prime chance for Danbury to go up 3 early. But it's back out the center. Here's Jackson into the zone. 2-on-1. Jackson right circle across for Tom Mealy. And it was intercepted by Henning. Back through center. 2-on-1 now for Port Huron rather. The shot from Foley is blockered ahead from Wilson and out of play. His first test tonight. He's able to make the stop. 15:26 to go in the first. 2-0 Hat-Tricks, and man, the Hat-Tricks really are flying so far.
Yeah, and this is a team that has kind of struggled at its shoot this season. Danbury's been outscored coming into play tonight in the first 14 games. They've only scored 10 goals in the first period and been outscored 14-10. They've been much better in the second and third periods than in the first. Not tonight. They have really come out flying.
Hat-Tricks in their own zone along the near wall, battling for the puck. Atwell. It's funny, the Hat-Tricks' best period so far this season, the second.
Yeah, by far.
And that is the Prowlers' worst period by a decent stretch. Prowlers giving up 29 goals in the second period this season, so Hat-Tricks already with a lead as they scoop out to center, and it will be chased down by Port Huron into their own zone. 5 minutes in.
And then the thing is, Josh, it's 2-0. It could be 4-0 right now.
Hat-Tricks
with the great A's that they've had.
Forcing a lot of pressure through the neutral zone, but here's Crawford into the Hat-Trick zone. The shot wide in the net. Bounces out to Williams, dropping it in front for Suffredini, and back to Williams at the circle. He's laid out by Jesso. Back to the point for Sura, walking by a few Hat-Tricks. The puck's kicked around. Crawford can't turn and fire as Atwell stepped in. Plays the puck to the dasher and will chip it forward, not out of the zone for Sura. Near half wall, leaving it for Jay. Jay working behind the net, trying the wraparound now. Will come out to the circle on the far side. Stopped by the Hat-Tricks. Suffredini fires all the way through the slot. Back to the corner and all the way around. Suffredini near side, 6 minutes in to Jay. Top of the circle, his wrister high and wide. And Roseboom finds that puck at the point. Lofts it forward, looking for Graham. Gloved it down, but Brown intervened, and the Hat-Tricks will take over. Atwell banks the center. Manzo stumbles, and Atwell is able to corral that puck for Danbury. Across the red line, dropping it across the blue for Kuznetsov, who's snapper off the blocker of Simons. Jesso has the rebound. Jesso in the near corner. Working his way back to the point, all the way across, looking for McDonald, who was flagged down by Jay, and Jay will speed through center. Jay working against Susi, cuts around him along the goal line, wrap around, and it's out in front. Wilson sealed the post on the near side. Jesso finds the rebound for the Hat-Tricks. 6.5 played in the first, 2-0 Hat-Tricks. 2 goals in the first, 2:46 of play as they outlet to Brett Jackson. Brett Jackson in the zone, drops it for Tom Mealy. His shot off the glove of Simons trickles wide. Susi from the point, the tip in front by Tom Mealy goes wide, and Johnson takes over for Port Huron. The outlet pass, and Port Huron might have Danbury caught changing across the line. Foley, Atwell seals him off, and the pass in front for Johnson, stopped by McDonald on the back check. Hat-tricks coming out to center as Brett Jackson tumbles down in the neutral zone. 7 minutes in, and we'll settle down a little bit here as Port Huron comes back into its own zone. Federley behind his net, waiting for his team to complete the change, and now we'll start the rush up the ice. Johnson all the way across, kicked ahead by Foley, and that will be, icing will be waved off as it was tipped in, and the Hat-tricks take over. Atwell behind his own net, springs forward to Gordy Bonnell across the line, looking for Johnny Ruiz in the slot, but couldn't find him, and it was poked to center. Bonnell right back on it. Touch pass for Ruiz, working around Federley, and Federley recovers to make the play. Near corner, it's Anderson. Fans on the pass out in front, and Port Huron comes back the other way. 8 minutes in, 2-0 Hat-tricks. Pass at center, dropped off. Federley deep into the Hat-trick zone, bouncing puck in on Wilson, and he'll cover up as a few Port Huron players step in. We'll take a break here from Danbury. 2-0 Hat-tricks early on, just over 8 minutes into play.
Buzz-Aid Appliance and Scratch and Dent Outlet is the local leader for appliances and household wares. Do you like to eat? They've got a refrigerator. You want clean clothes? They've got a washer for you. They got it all. It's Buzz-Aid Appliance.
Quick start for the Hat-tricks, up 2-0, 8:09 in, and they win in a draw in their own zone. Can't clear. Jesso will have to work back into his corner to look for that loose puck. McDonald in as well. Jesso behind his own cage, centering a line tonight for the first time this year. We haven't seen him in the middle yet, but he's centering this second line for the Hat-tricks, and it's turned over at center. Behind into his own zone, Garrett Gallagher. D-to-D, McDonald's outlet for Finberg, stopped. Jay loses the puck at center, and Kuznetsov will retrieve it. McDonald forward for Finberg, across the line into the circle, and his shot sails high and wide. Back out to center, first to it, Steve Brown. Working forward, and it's right to the stick of Dalton Jay. Fires, and it's blockered away by Wilson. Steve Brown near side, half wall, trying to scoop it out of the zone, cannot. Jay pushes behind the net. Lambden first there for Port Huron. Back to the point, Henning fires, tipped in front. Wilson had to be alert. I think it went wide of the net as Jay hunts for the puck. He can't find it, and the Hat-tricks take over. 9:20 played in this first period. 2-0 Hat-tricks lead. Brown back behind the net for Aaron Atwell, who starts to break out to Steve Mealy through center. Losing his footing now as he pushes the puck deep into the Port Huron zone. Puck takes a carom off the corner and back out to the neutral zone. Foley into the Hat-trick zone. Lazaro chasing in the corner. And three Port Huron players converge and win the puck. Lambden back to the point. Manzo, his shot stopped by Steve Mealy in front halfway through the first. The outlet looking for Tom is turned over by Port Huron out in front. Jackson couldn't find that pass. Tom Mealy forcing a turnover here, and he's able to keep the puck on his stick. At the point, Susi fires in and stopped, and Ruiz is able to work the puck back into his possession. The shot tipped in front. Ruiz is high sticked, it looks like. The Hat-tricks will get a power play here as Lambden touches up. 9:38 to go in the first period. A high sticking call against Port Huron. 2-0 Hat-tricks, and Ruiz with the high effort down low by the net, draws a penalty against Lambden.
And we should point out, too, that Johnny Ruiz, first of all, he got up, and he seems to be okay, even though he caught that stick up high. Ruiz was credited with the lone assist on Bunnell's 7th goal at 2:46. So the point streak is alive.
15 games for Johnny Ruiz, and the Hat-Tricks head to the power play. It's just a minor. The PR Electric power play as Corey Anderson takes the draw, wins it back. Steve Mealy at the point. Across to Ruiz, left circle, down low, Anderson. Back to the point, Steve Mealy walking the line. 5 forwards on the ice for the Hat-Tricks. Tom Mealy down low, near corner, Gordy Bunnell. Back center point for Steve Mealy. Far circle, it's Ruiz. Now the shot in front from Bunnell, scores! It was a seeing eye shot, banked off the post, and it never left the ice. And it's 3-0 Hat-Tricks. 23 seconds into the power play, they strike. And with 9:15 to go in the first, it's a 3-0 lead.
Well, Danbury's got the second best power play in the league. They come in at 21.7%, but they were 0 for 5 against Watertown last Wednesday and looked a little discombobulated here. Boy, they take it right to Port Huron. They win the faceoff in the offensive zone. Puck never leaves the zone, and Bunnell scores the goal.
Bunnell gets his 2nd of the night, his 8th of the year.
And his 3rd on the power play.
Port Huron into the hat-trick zone. Centering feed looking for Jay. It was from Graham. Assist for Ruiz and Steve Mealy on the goal. For Sura, looking for the puck in the hat-trick zone. He can't find it. Jesso takes over. 3-0 Hat-Tricks. 11 minutes in. Turned over for Sura. Fires off the crossbar and out of play behind the net. 8:43 to go in the first. 3-0 Hat-Tricks. We should be getting a break here.
Yeah, Coach McIsaac saying that puck was hit with a high stick and the faceoff should have come out of the zone. Did not win that argument.
Hat-Tricks win the defensive zone draw. It's taken out the center. Soilis right back into the Danbury zone. Soilis fires a shot in. Lambden the rebound. He scores. Wilson couldn't find the rebound, and Lambden was all alone on the near side to put it home. Wilson had stuck by that far post. So just a few seconds after the Hat-Tricks go up 3, Port Huron strikes back. It's Lambden's 3rd of the year, and it's a 3-1 game with 8:21 to go in the first.
Yeah, he was left untouched, and that was a big rebound. You don't see a lot of rebounds from Brian Wilson. He really controls the puck well. In this case, though, he left out a juicy one, and he was out of position, and that was an easy gimme for Cade Lambden.
Lambden wins the draw right after his goal, and it's pumped right back in. The last couple minutes, since that 3rd goal for the Hat-Tricks, it's been all Port Huron. The shot from the point swallowed by Wilson. 8:06 left in the first. 3-1 Hat-Tricks lead.
And we thought we were going to get a media timeout here. We should be getting one, but it doesn't look like we will. Looks like we're back at it. Right now, Wilson having a conversation with the one referee. Looked to be upset about something. I'm not sure what it could be. Face off to his right.
Mealy wins the draw back to Susie, and Tom Mealy now will go cross ice right on the tape for Steve. Steve blazing through center across the line at the circle, swing behind the net, coming out the far side. Back to the point, Steve Mealy across to Susie near point, tip in front. Tom tipped it high over the net, and Port Huron will control. 12:15 into play here in Danbury. The Hat-Tricks lead 3-1. Jackson into the Port Huron zone, right circle, backhand out in front. Mealy stuffed it wide. Steve takes it right back, far side, Atwell shot. Jackson tipped it in front but couldn't find the rebound, and Port Huron clears to center. Henning in his own zone, breaking out across the far side, Suffredini. Suffredini stops right inside the Hat-Tricks line to Jay, right circle. It's poked away by Gallagher. McDonald pushing forward and is able to get it to Bunnell, who excavates the zone. Out to the Port Huron end, deep in the corner. Ruiz forechecking, unable to take the puck as Federley speeds through center. Federle turning the Jets on at the circle. His snapshot off of Wilson's blocker and into the corner. Gallagher behind the net. 7 minutes to play in the first. Ruiz through center, stopped at the red line and will jab it forward into the zone where Johnson takes over for Port Huron. Johnson right on the stick to Jay, to Frisura now, the shot wide of the net, and the Hat-Tricks will take over. McDonald chipping high off the glass to Anderson, who can't control. Johnson right back on it for Port Huron. Through center, Jay fans on the pass, now will stuff it in to the Hat-Trick zone. Behind the net, Jesso seals off Graham, and Atwell takes over. Kuznetsov up the near wing to Jesso, who's across the line. Jesso working down low at the circle, cutting out in front, roofs it! Jesso, what an effort! 6:14 to go in the first. 4-1 Hat-Tricks. Jesso goes coast to coast and scores for the Hat-Tricks.
I mean, he just danced around the defenseman inside the blue line there. He turned him inside out, and from the middle of the circle in, it was all Jesso, and as soon as Simons went down, he had that whole upper net to shoot it into, and he made no mistake. His second of the night, his sixth of the season. He, too, has had a point in each game he has played so far this season, this being his fifth game.
6 minutes to go. It's 4-1 Hat-Tricks. Jesso right back to work in the offensive zone. Finberg in the corner, back out in front looking for Jesso, and couldn't find him. Unassisted for Jesso, as it's 4-1 Hat-Tricks. At the point, the tip in front from Foley goes wide of the net. His pass right back out is stopped by the Hat-Tricks and taken out to center. Finberg across the Port Huron line, drops it for Kuznetsov. Fresh off his loan to the SPHL in Roanoke, plays it right back into the near corner for Finberg. Kuznetsov forechecking now as Port Huron took over the puck, and Soilis will flub it to center. Susi right there for the Hat-Tricks, across for Lazaro, and through center to Kuznetsov. Kuznetsov jetting down left circle, backhand out in front. Lost control a little bit as it's iced by Port Huron, and Williams was ahead of the pack there as icing was whistled.
He's just shaking his head. He's like, hey, how can that be icing?
They're going to bring this draw back to center. 5:10 to go in the first, 4-1 Hat-Tricks.
Boy, a chance to catch our breath here. The goals began at 1:07. Jesso's fifth of the season, first of the game. At 2:46, Benell is seventh from Ruiz. At 10:45, the power play goal from Benell is eighth of the season. Ruiz and Steve Mealy with the assist. Then Lambden at 11:37 for Port Huron. Soilis and Federle with the assist. And at 13:46, Jesso's second of the game, sixth of the season. 4-1 Danbury as we head to this break.
.5:10 to go in the first. 4-1 Hat-Tricks. 5 goals in this first period so far, and mostly dominated by Danbury. Here's a neutral zone draw coming up. It's Steve Mealy with Isaiah Crawford, and Mealy wins the puck back to Lazaro, who cannot get the puck deep into the Port Huron zone. Henning lost control, but it's taken right over by Suffredini. Across the Hat-Tricks line, skirting by Susi, and in the corner, Susi recovers to win the puck back. Up ahead, the right wing, Jackson can't get out of the zone. Now Tom Mealy turns the puck over. Back down low, looking for Crawford in front. The shot stopped by Wilson, and the Hat-Tricks can't get out of their own zone now. At the point, Suffredini, D-to-D, Henning. Henning winds, blast, kicked by the right leg of Wilson, and he'll get it out of the zone himself, as the Hat-Tricks force a 2-on-1 here. Tom Mealy across the line, left circle, snaps one, gloved by Simons with 4:23 left in the first. and a 4-1 Hat-Tricks lead.
Corey Simons entered play today. The goalies in the league, he was 4th in save percentage at .898, yet he allowed 4 goals on his first 10 shots tonight.
We'll step aside. 4-1 Hat-Tricks, 4:23 to go in the first.
TK's American Cafe on White Street in Danbury. Stop by TK's. Try one of their 76 amazing wings flavors. Our favorite, the Gold Rush. www.tksamericancafe.com. We didn't give you the scratches. There's been so much action, so much goal scoring and opportunities and everything for Danbury. Kodiak White Duck, Mike Lopez are healthy scratches. Tobias Ojik remains out injured. And the third goalie scratch tonight is Will McEwen.
Back into the hat-trick zone as Atwell is in his own corner, battling for the puck. He comes away with it in the near corner. Turning up the boards. Now we'll cut back behind the net, bank it off the end boards, and Brown will start the outlet up to Bennell, who turns the puck over for Sura. Far circle, working against Brown. Cutting out in front, and the pass all the way through, taken by Anderson, who will scoot to center. Back into the hat-trick zone, Steve Brown corrals in the corner, all the way up the near boards for Anderson. Anderson has himself with some space and loses control of the puck. In on goal, Simons will cover up. 3:39 to go in the first. 4-1 hat-tricks, and Anderson maybe not the fleetest of foot on that breakaway.
Yeah, no, and then he lost control of the puck, and it was just all went south pretty quickly there just as you were getting the words breakaway out of your mouth, kind of fell apart there. One of the few things that has not gone Danbury's way in the first period.
Jesso been outstanding in the first period, has the puck behind the net. Lost control. Lambden will take over the lone goal scorer for Port Huron in this first period. Will play out to center. Hat-Tricks stuff it right back toward Port Huron ice. Federley ahead for Lambden, who gets laid out by Gallagher, and he turns the puck over to Soilis in front as McDonald recovered and poked it away. Soilis has it right back. Shot off a stick high and wide. Off the glass, Federley at the point. Shot blocked in front by Gallagher. Kuznetsov the other way across far wing. It's McDonald trying to work by Federley and could not get by. Now Finberg out in front all alone. Backhand stopped by Simons. A turnover from Port Huron. Finberg tried to sneak a backhand by Simons. Couldn't capitalize on it as Port Huron tips all the way down. That'll go for icing with 2:46 to go in the first. 4-1 hat-tricks, and Finberg with a great chance there on the turnover.
Yeah, and what a gift, too. You know, he's right between the circles. He's about 15 feet away from the goal, and all of a sudden the puck squirts out in front, and he's all alone. But he kind of rushed that backhand. He didn't, try to do too much with it. He just tried to get rid of it quickly, and Simons was in perfect position.
Steve Mealy wins the face-off forward. His centering pass off a skate, and down behind, Soilis winds and blasts from the circle in the hat-trick's end. And fans on it. The hat-tricks take over. Tom Mealy dropping it for Vinny Susi. 2.5 to play in this first period. A 5-goal first so far as the hat-tricks tip down and ice the puck. 2:22 to go. Hat-tricks up 3 here in the first, and a couple of assists added to that 4th goal for the hat-tricks. Corey Anderson and Aaron Atwell getting assists on Jesso's goal.
For Atwell now, his team-high 12th assist on the season.
Hat-tricks win the defensive zone draw. Pushed ahead. Jackson drops across Tom. Steve Mealy across the Tom at the left wing. Cuts inside the zone and trying to filter through. It's blocked away by Henning. Diving after the puck. It was Tom Mealy looking to win it back. He looks a little bit shaken up with that left hand, flexing it as he comes off the ice. And the hat-tricks play in deep. 2 minutes to go. As Suffredini turns it over at center. Anderson 2-on-1 with Ruiz. Anderson across looking for Ruiz. Henning had his stick in the lane and tipped it away. Back to center, Steve Brown across to Aaron Atwell. 1:40 to go in the first. Bennell scoops forward to himself, has it at the left circle, cutting out in front, backhand, and it was stopped by the left leg of Simons. Bunnell vying for the hat trick there as it's taken right back down the ice by Crawford. His shot off a body into the corner, and Anderson takes it for the hat tricks. Anderson across to Ruiz, skating through center across the Port Huron line. Out in front for Anderson, it was tipped away. And Frisura takes over for Port Huron. Gallagher at his own line across to McDonald and ahead for Jesso. Jesso trying to skate by a few Port Huron defenders. He's unable to do so. Kuznetsov hammering away at the red line to play it in. Can't get it deep as Finberg fights for the puck. Port Huron comes away with it. Less than a minute to play in the first. Hat tricks retrieve at their own line. McDonald surveying through center. Ahead for Jesso. Works into the zone. Nice move by, and the snapshot is bobbled by Simons, but he's able to keep that in his padding somewhere. 39.6 to go. What a move by Jesso to get into the zone there.
He is really taking out all the tools from the toolkit in this first period. He has had some splendid moves, and that was a dandy right there. Again, he is making the opponents look embarrassing them with great stick handling and really great skating as well. He certainly has his A game tonight.
He'll take a breather as the Mealy line comes out, and Steve wins the faceoff to Brett Jackson in the corner. 30 seconds left. Jackson out in front. Lambden intercepts for the Prowlers and comes out to center. Soilis stuffs it into the hat-trick zone in the corner, stops in the near corner, and turns the puck right back in front. Lazaro's able to corral it, and the hat-trick's outlet off of Tom Mealy's stick with 15 seconds left, deep toward the Port Huron zone. Johnson starts the break to Federley. Back to Johnson, left circle in the hat-trick zone. Tries the sky one. It's stopped by Wilson and out of play with 4.8 to go.
Good save there, good positioning, and that's one of the things about Wilson. And he's a big guy, but he always seems to be in the right spot. He anticipates really well. He moves side to side really well and very economical in his movement. He doesn't ever seem to be scrambling between the pipes. He tends to be in the position when the shot comes.
Steve Mealy wins the draw with 4.8 left, and Atwell just pins that puck in the corner. And after one period, 4-1, the hat-tricks lead. It was 2 from Bunnell and 2 from Jesso that have the hat-tricks, the 4 goals. Lambden adding the lone tally for Port Huron, and that period was really dominated by Danbury.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's surprising because in the first 4 games that these teams have played against each other this season, 3 of them have been decided by 1 goal, and the other one, a 7-5 victory for Danbury, was decided by 2 goals. So to see, Danbury run out to a 3-goal lead is really surprising. Of course, there's still 40 minutes of hockey left, and it was interesting. I thought after Danbury took the 3-0 lead, Port Huron really kind of had a pushback. In fact, even after Danbury went up 2-0, I thought Port Huron had a good pushback, and they started to control the play in the Danbury zone for the first time tonight. But then that penalty by Lambden, the high stick at 10:22, kind of gave the momentum back to Danbury. Then they scored the power play goal, and all of a sudden now it's 3-0, where the push was, maybe causing Danbury concern that it could get to 2-1. Instead, they push it up to 3-0, and, now it's 4-1, and they're in a good spot after 20 minutes. Certainly their best first period of the season.
So we head to the second, which, as mentioned before, the hat-tricks' best period, the Prowlers' worst period. The hat-tricks have a plus 21 goal differential in the second. The Prowlers minus 17. And if anything goes like the first period, this game could get out of hand in the second if those trends continue. We'll head to the second period after this here on Hat-Tricks TV. It's 4-1 Danbury after the first period. And we'll step aside here before the second period starts in just a few minutes. 4-1 after 20 minutes here in Danbury. The Hat-Tricks controlling play over the first period. I'm Josh Starr, joined by Jim Cerny, and the Hat-Tricks head into period number 2 with pretty comfortable lead.
I think that you and I might be the only guys in the building on the Danbury side that did not hit the score sheet in that first period. Even with Jesso and Bunnell each scoring 2 goals, and Ruiz had 2 assists, and Atwell, Anderson, Steve Mealy also with assists. Certainly that's the way you want to start, to come out flying like that. Goal 67 seconds in. You're up 2-0 at 2:46, and Port Huron was really back on their heels. I think Danbury's done a really good job, too, shutting down Dalton Jay in that first period, and Matt Graham. I don't really remember Graham's name really being called in that first period. And Dalton Jay had the puck on his stick in the neutral zone a lot, but not a lot in the offensive zone. So that means Danbury's also doing a good job defensively as well as on offense.
They take the draw to start the second period, and in that defensive zone, these 2 players, a big reason why, Atwell and Brown, for the hat-trick success in their own zone. Simons plays it up the boards, and it goes off the glass and out of play. So 23 seconds in, offensive zone draw for the Hat-Tricks here.
Yeah, you mentioned Atwell and Brown. Boy, that is a really elite at this level top pair for your defense. And Atwell says, boy, I am a better player when Brownie's on the ice. He makes me that much better. Loves the combination, loves playing with Steve Brown.
Hat-Tricks can't win the offensive zone draw. 30 seconds into the second period, it's a 4-1 Hat-Tricks lead. A big first for Danbury, and here's Atwell up the left wing. Bunnell tips forward to Ruiz, 2-on-1. Ruiz fires. It's blocked by a kneeling Johnson, and Ruiz finds the rebound all the way back to the point. Brown couldn't handle that rocket pass from Ruiz, and it's out to center. Anderson shoves it right back deep into the Port Huron end, but Hat-Tricks are changing. Simons leaves it, and it's an outlet for Frisura across the Hat-Tricks line, zigging and zagging at the circle. Now he's sealed hard off the puck by Lazaro. Back to the point. Suffredini skating out in front, left it for Graham on the right side, but it was behind him, and the Hat-Tricks clear out to center. Jesso punching away at it, and it's taken down. No hand pass as the Hat-Tricks enter the zone. Off of Lazaro's skate out in front. Jesso blocked the clear attempt, but it's out to center now. Suffredini across the Hat-Tricks line to the right, across looking for Jay in the top of the zone, and it's intercepted. Jesso the other way, dropping it for Kuznetsov, fires and stopped by Simons. 18:24 left in the second. 4-1 Hat-Tricks.
Talking about Matt Graham and Dalton Jay, they're names that should be very familiar to fans here in Danbury. They both played with the Titans several years ago, lit up the score sheet then, and they're doing the same thing for Port Huron now. Graham is actually also the coach and GM of this team, so he's got a lot of responsibility on his shoulders. Second leading scorer on the team, and he's the coach and the GM to boot.
Hat-Tricks win the draw against Graham, and the shot off a body and wide. Steve Mealy plays it back to the point. Susi fires a shot blocked by Frisura, and he's skating in on goal for the Port Huron in toward the Hat-Tricks zone. The backhand, and Wilson slides across to make the stop as the Hat-Tricks survive that breakaway chance. 2 minutes in to the second. Hat-Tricks right back on the puck. Susi was jabbing away at Frisura on that breakaway and got away with probably a hooking call, but the Hat-Tricks will take it. Tom Mealy at the circle out in front, tries to chip one over the right shoulder of Simons. He was there to stop it, and it's cleared to center. 2.5 into play here in the second, heading across the Hat-Tricks line as it's stopped and turned back in behind the net. Steve Brown kicking it free behind for Atwell, who will play up to Tom Mealy. Flutters to center. Jackson hammers away at it, but can't control Crawford into the Hat-Tricks zone. Lost his handle, and the Hat-Tricks come back the other way. Nice tip pass ahead for Jackson. Jackson working his way toward the front of the net and gets it there, but it's stopped in front by Beauclair into the corner. And Steve Mealy looking to play it out in front, and Jackson couldn't find that pass. Roseboom the other way for Port Huron, deep into the Hat-Trick zone, 3 minutes in. Wilson out of the net, plays it into the near corner, and the Hat-Tricks seal off the Prowlers, and outlet ahead for Anderson. Anderson across the Prowlers line, drops it for Bunnell, far circle. Bunnell through his legs, down low behind the net, and is pushed along behind as he waits for his line mates to come. Now the arm goes up. That's going to be a penalty against Manzo. 2 for holding against the defenseman for Port Huron, and the Hat-Tricks head to their second power play of the night. The first one successful, took just 23 seconds, and now they'll head to another 3:24 into the second and a 3-goal lead.
That's a great job by Bunnell to draw that penalty there. And he does that by holding on to the puck, by not giving up control of the puck. And it forces Manzo to take the holding penalty.
Hat-Tricks win the draw. Kuznetsov at the near circle. Back to the point. Gallagher across. Far ring is Atwell. Down low to the bottom of the circle. Lazaro skating back out top of the zone. Drops it into the corner. Atwell cycling onto the puck there with Johnson glued to him along the far boards. Atwell now working behind the net. Gets free out to Lazaro looking at the point and couldn't connect. 25 seconds into the power play. 4 minutes into this second period. Hat-Tricks up 3. And we'll keep this same unit out on the ice. Gallagher ahead up the right wing to Kuznetsov across the line. Lost his handle. Now goes all the way back across for Jesso. Jesso, far point, skating at the blue line. Now stuffs it deep into the near corner where Kuznetsov can't find it. The clear up to Atwell at the point. Dropping it down low for Jesso. Working it behind the net, Lazaro. Banks it back to the far point. Gallagher walking the line, switching places with Atwell. Near point, Gallagher. D-to-D, Atwell. Across near circle, Kuznetsov. Surveying as he skates back to the top of the point. Now Jesso down low in the corner. Turns back before he got to the front of the net. Now he's working his way back out in front. Goes behind the cage and out for Atwell. His pass intercepted as Suffredini clears to center. Soilis right back to Suffredini through center. And the Hat-Tricks clear it to the dasher. Half a minute to go on this power play. 5 into this second period. Hat-Tricks up 3, and we'll finally change to that top unit. Ruiz out on the ice. Gallagher behind his own cage. Starting the rush. Will poke ahead for Gordy Bunnell. Bunnell already with 2 tonight. Bunnell across to Ruiz out in front. The rebound try stopped by Simons. High stick. Puck was played with a high stick, so the Hat-Tricks gain possession. 5 seconds left on the power play. Ruiz across to Susi, and the shot blocked by Johnson, and out of the box. Manzo down low in front. Anderson scores! Tic-tac-toe! Tom Mealy on the far post, right across to Corey Anderson, and he pops it. 5:27 into the second period, and it won't be a power play goal, but the Hat-Tricks will take it. 5-1 Danbury.
That is Corey Anderson's 9th goal of the season, and again, Simons goes down as he comes across the crease. He doesn't stay up high, doesn't stand tall. You see he's down, and that's the second or third time tonight that the Hat-Tricks have gone up high and roofed one over him when Simons has gone down. But really, he was left. That's almost like a power play goal, even though it's not, because Manzo had just come out of the box and he had not yet joined the play. And so it was like a 5-on-4 down low, and as you called it perfectly, Josh, tic-tac-toe with the passing.
The Ferrer Electric power play unable to convert, but right as it ends, the Hat-Tricks take advantage. 5-1 Danbury, 6 minutes in to the second period. Brown at center, flutters into the far corner in the Port Huron zone. Brown in on the forecheck as Port Huron clears all the way down. And Wilson out of the net to leave it for Atwell. Trying to spring forward quickly as Jackson goes across to Kuznetsov. Near side, Jesso across the line. Jesso swinging at the left circle. His snapshot high and wide off the glass and bouncing off the dasher and out to center. Gallagher through center. It's tipped in by Kuznetsov. Didn't get a lot on it and doesn't get it deep into the zone. Frisura does get it into the Hat-Trick zone. Gallagher over skates, but Lazaro there to chip ahead. Henning gloves it down to himself in the slot. His back end in front. Wilson sticked it into the corner. 7 just about played here in the second. Hat-Tricks turn it over at their own line, and now Gallagher able to poke it to center. Hat-Tricks through center across the Port Huron line. Kuznetsov winds, blast. Stopped by Simons. Jesso couldn't find the rebound, and it's out to center from Port Huron. Heading up the left wing will play in toward goal as Wilson will stop that at the side of the net. 12:58 to go in the second. 5-1 Hat-Tricks lead, and we'll step aside here from Danbury.
Sunset Hill Golf Course is the friendly place to play. 9 holes in Brookfield. It's birdies, eagles, and bogeys. Enjoy the day with a nice cold Arnold Palmer on the 9 holes at Sunset Hill. Well, 5-1 Danbury. The 5th goal coming at 5:27 of the second period. Corey Anderson's 9th of the season. 4 of those 9 goals have come against Port Huron this season. Tom Mealy and Gordy Bennell with the assist. How about Gordy Bennell? Now we're 7 minutes into this second period. Bennell already has 3 points in the game, coming off a 3-point effort against Watertown last Wednesday.
Bennell been hot, now has 19 points on the season. Shot fired wide of the net. Henning's rebound high off the glass behind and out to center. Just 3 points behind. Ruiz has added a couple tonight, so he has 24 now, I believe.
Yeah, so it's 24-19.
Yeah, so Bennell sneaking up on him as he's in on the forecheck. He forces the turnover. Bennell out to Ruiz, and it's stuffed away. And as one of them goes, so does the other, playing on the same line so often, as the Hat-Tricks can't control the puck in the offensive zone.
They have such great chemistry together, Josh. They really do. They always know where the other one is.
Tom Mealy across the line, out in front, shot off the side of the net, and bounces away to Henning, who will skate to center. Through center toward the Hat-Trick zone, cutting to the right, out in the hard angle shot, blockered out by Wilson, and the Hat-Trick spring forward. Jackson on the right with Steve Mealy cutting out in front of the net. Jackson cuts to the slot and pushes forward for Steve, who had cut to the other side of the net. Back to the point, the tip in front. Steve couldn't connect on it. Simon's able to make the stop. Lambden through center for Port Huron, across the line for Sura. Takes it from Jackson out to Lambden. Shot stuffed to the side of the net as Gallagher takes it behind, and the Hat-Tricks will look to outlet. McDonald up to Jackson, who cuts by one and feeds to McDonald across the line. Puck pops high in the air, and now is going to be a penalty. High sticking the call.
Yeah, Lazaro is going to go to the box. Accidental, but he did clip him up high. And see for sure it's remaining down on the ice, face first.
Check on him, and the trainers come out. 11:25 to go in the second. 5-1, Hat-Tricks lead as Lazaro goes off for high sticking, and by the reaction of Frisura, this could be more than just a minor.
Yeah, we'll see. Right now the trainer is out looking at Frisura. Lazaro standing in the box, and he immediately went to Frisura. Even before we got the whistle, he went to see if Frisura was okay. And he's standing in the box now watching, and certainly frustrated. An accidental high stick, but a high stick nonetheless. And Port Huron will get their first power play of the game. They are first in the league at 23.5%.
16 power play goals for Port Huron. And they'll go to work here with Graham, Jay, and Lambden as the forward unit. Federley and Johnson, the D pair, and this is a dangerous power play. So the Hat-Tricks have to be careful in the penalty kill. Federley at the right circle, all the way across. Jay fires in front, just wide. A great chance for Port Huron right off the bat. 11:15 to go in the second. 15 seconds into the power play. Tipped in front, the rebound, and they score. It bounced right to Graham in the near circle. And Wilson was out of position after the puck deflected across and just 18 seconds into the power play. It is a goal for Port Huron. 5-2 the score, 11:07 to play in the second.
Well, earlier after the first period, I talked about how Matt Graham had a really, really quiet first period, and he really hadn't called his name too much here in the second. But boom, on the power play, they're like a different team, Port Huron. A bunch of sharks out there once they get to the man advantage, and Graham is able to score his 9th goal of the season, his 4th on the power play.
Hat-tricks back in their own zone. Anderson able to win the puck for Danbury and banks ahead for Jesso. Jesso at the right circle in the Port Huron zone. Cuts behind the net, now in the far corner. Working by Johnson, cutting his way out in front side of the net. It was stopped by the cage, and Roseboom takes over in the corner. 10.5 to play in the second. Jay pushes forward to Anderson. Shot off the body in front. Tips wide. Jesso looking to force a turnover behind the net. Cannot, and Johnson will carry to center. Johnson ahead to Graham. Goes all the way across, off the boards. Jay behind the net. Stopped by Atwell, and Lazaro out of the box after the goal for Port Huron. Will play ahead for Jesso. Jesso, end of a shift, skating in and winning the puck for the Hat-tricks. Jesso turning it behind the net and can't find Kuznetsov. Now it's cleared out of play. And are they going to, I believe they're going to call this a delay of game.
Yeah, delay of game. Yeah, went up and over the glass.
So the Hat-tricks will head back to the power play right after Port Huron gets a power play goal of its own. Roseboom off for a delay of game, and it will be Anderson, Ruiz, and Bonnell with Steve and Tom Mealy at the point. The Hat-tricks didn't get their first unit out till the very end of their last power play, and now have a chance to get them off to the start. Steve Mealy swinging to the far circle. Halfway through regulation. 5 seconds into a Hat-tricks power play, up 3. Bonnell down low. Anderson tries to steer one on goal. Stopped by Simons. Ruiz near half wall, down low along the goal line to Anderson. Across to Tom Mealy, far circle. His shot blocked by Henning. Mealy has the puck back in the corner to Bonnell, who's upended. And no call there. Mealy loses his stick in the corner. Bonnell digging away at the puck. Works it free to the point, and Steve Mealy takes over right point across to Ruiz. One-timer high and wide off the end glass and out to Suffredini, who skates through center. 3-on-2 shorthanded for Port Huron. Have 4 shorthanded goals this year. Suffredini in on goal. It was tipped out of play. This is an aggressive penalty kill for Port Huron. Like I said, 4 shorthanded goals this year, and they almost had a chance there 45 seconds into the Hat-tricks power play.
I will say on their last 2 penalty kills, I've really liked Port Huron, how disciplined they've remained in the box in front of their goaltender Simons, and they've really cut down the opportunities against with Danbury on the power play. You had Ruiz at the end of that second power play, had a good opportunity. Really, that's been it in these last 2 power play opportunities for Danbury, and that's a credit to Port Huron.
Just about halfway through a power play for the Hat-tricks. 9:19 left in the second. 5-2, Danbury leads.
Ultimate Limousine Service in Danbury is the region's premier limousine service. You ever ride in a Bentley? If not, well, you call them up. And next time you will get to travel in style with Ultimate Limousine. That is Ultimate
Limo CT.com.
So I was trying to
sound it all out.
Actually,
together.
sound it all out, and that didn't go so well. Ultimate Limo CT.com.
The Hat-tricks have 1 minute left on a power play as Lazaro carries in to the zone. Out in front into the hat-trick zone. Jay carries in and will be taken back to the neutral zone.
Again, doing a really good, just sorry to cut you off, Josh. That's a really good penalty kill again by Port Huron. Their last 2 kills have been very, very good.
30 seconds left on the power play for the Hat-Tricks. It's 1 for 2 tonight. Chance number 3 here. Atwell up the right wing. Pushes into the middle for Lazaro, who's stopped by Soilus at the line. He gets it free to Atwell. Now Gallagher has some room across to Jesso, bottom of the near circle. Kuznetsov out in front, tipped high and wide. Atwell back behind the net. Lambden intercepts and is unable to clear. Tom Mealy, left point, down low with 5 left on the power play. Played all the way around to the far boards. Out of the box, Roseboom. As Atwell has it, goes across, trying to go dot to dot, and it was sticked out to center. Federley has it right back in his own zone for Port Huron. Across Lambden, the stretch pass off his stick, and in on Wilson, who will cover up. 7:50 to go in the second. 5-2 Hat-Tricks, and the Hat-Tricks now 2 straight unsuccessful power plays.
Yeah, and again, I don't want to beat the dead horse, but I think part of that is because Port Huron has been so good on the kill. Very, very disciplined on the kill. And then as you pointed out, once a puck comes out of the zone, boom, they are off to the races trying to score shorthanded, which they've done so well this season.
Hat-Tricks win the draw in their own zone. Daniluk serves up the boards, can't get it out. Henning shot kicked away by Wilson. Now the rebound is stopped by Wilson again. Through some traffic that time. Back on the puck at the point, Suffredini. Shot in front. This rebound is for Foley high and over the net. He had a wide open net to shoot at, and he shot it over. 7:32 to go in the second. 5-2 Hat-Tricks, and that puck went out of play.
Yeah, that might have been a great play by Daniluk. We don't have the replay on it here, but Daniluk might have gotten his stick in the way of that because Wilson was down and out, and there was a lot of net to shoot at by Foley, and I think Daniluk got his stick on it, and the puck went up into the crowd as this puck now goes into the Port Huron bench. So a good play by Daniluk, who's a defenseman that we don't talk about a lot, but he's been pretty consistently good at both ends of the ice, contributing offensively, moving the puck well, but mainly, in particular, he's been very good in his own end so far this season.
Daniluk has played, I think, all but 1 game for the Hat-Tricks this year. And
correct, yeah.
Been solid on the back end for them. Here's Anderson, who will tip in to the Port Huron zone. Bennell chasing in on the forecheck, can't get there. Henning outlets up the right wing to Williams. Williams dropping for Crawford into the Hat-Trick zone, surveying across the blue line. Now Suffredini fires a shot through traffic again. The rebound stopped in front, and now they score. It's Crawford. Port Huron is clawing back and is within 2. It's 5-3 Hat-Tricks. 7 minutes to play in the second period. And after a scramble in front, the Hat-Tricks couldn't find Crawford, who puts it home and makes it a 2-goal game.
Yeah, there was a real good first save there with the pad made by Wilson, but the puck got kicked out into the slot, and nobody picked up Crawford, and he was able to bury his 6th goal of the season. And now things get a little dicey. This next goal in this game is going to be a huge one, as the lead is now down to 2 for Danbury.
7 minutes to play in the second. The Hat-Tricks forcing a turnover in the neutral zone. Jesso into the zone, picked his pocket from behind was Graham. Now out in front, Lazaro's backhand stopped by Simons and turned back towards center. Back to Kuznetsov, who carries into the Port Huron end. Stopping at the point, now down low, Lazaro back out in front. Jesso stoned by it. Simons, who slid across and stopped him on the doorstep. Roseboom back into the Hat-Trick zone. In the far corner, sealed off by Brown. Atwell springs forward to Mealy. Tom Mealy ahead for Jesso. Across the Port Huron line, working 1-on-3, and has the puck knocked into the corner. Takes it right back on his stick, knocked to his knees, and Roseboom will scoop to center. Hat-Trick's control there with Daniluk at the red line, who will fire off the end boards behind into the far corner. Johnson takes over for Port Huron, turned over in front. The Hat-Tricks have the puck. Right point, Susie out in front. The tip, batted out of the air, scores! Brett Jackson! The puck hits something in front. Jackson turned into a baseball player and batted it into the net. The Hat-Tricks have the 3-goal lead right back. Here's the play in front. Jackson, that puck was in the air and he swatted it in.
I think he might have gotten a deflection first and the puck went up in the air and then he just batted it past the goaltender into the net. Good hand-eye coordination there by Jackson. And what did I just say before? That next goal is going to be a big one in this game because either it's going to be Danbury by 1 or Danbury by 3. Well, it's Danbury by 3, 6-3.
Jackson working forward in the offensive zone once again. Tom Mealy works the puck free, trying to kick it to his stick and unable to. Through center, Soilis across the Hat-Tricks line against McDonald, who steps into him and clears the puck for Gallagher, who gets it to center. At his own line, Nick Manzo ahead for Henning. Back to Manzo in front of his own line, and Steve Mealy turns the puck right back. Anderson fires off a body in front. Shot in on his own goal. Now bounces side of the net. Bonnell looking for the hat trick. And Manzo played that toward his own net. Here's Bonnell out to Ruiz. Right circle out in front and kicked away by Simons. Out to center. Hat tricks changing, but Daniluk right onto the ice will push the puck back into the zone. Under 5 to play in the second. Hat trick 6, Prowlers 3. In a crazy game so far. Swatted ahead to Ruiz. Across Bonnell, left circle. Out toward the slot. Anderson fires in, and it's stopped out high. Anderson battling away in the corner. Looking to free the puck for the Hat-Tricks. Goes down to a knee and plays the puck back to the point. Daniluk fires side of the net off of Henning's skate, and Henning will push forward. Dropping it back, Beauclair for Manzo, who will go high off the glass and out to center. This will be called icing with 4:09 left in the second. 6-3, Hat-Tricks lead, and we'll step aside here from Danbury.
Stony Hill Dental Care has served as the leader and preferred provider of dental care in Bethel, Connecticut. Go see Dr. K. He'll make you look like $1,000,000 and feel like it too. The official team dentist of your Danbury Hat-Tricks. A crazy stretch there. Quick recap. Graham scored for Port Huron at 8:53, his 9th on the power play from Lambton and Johnson. Then at 13 minutes, Crawford scored for Port Huron to make it 5-3, his 6th from Williams and Federley. And at 14:11, it was Jackson, his 4th of the season from Daniluk, again at 14:11, and Danbury leads 6-3.
Hat-Tricks in the offensive zone, back to the point. Atwell. Shot served towards the blue paint, goes all the way through and out into the corner. Beauclair through center, and the Hat-Tricks clear it over and into the Port Huron zone. Manzo behind his cage, leaving for Johnson. Banks ahead for Frisura, back out on the ice. And Williams loses control at the Hat-Tricks line. Atwell speeding through center, had Kuznetsov streaking, couldn't find him. And Frisura bats it back down into the Hat-Tricks zone. That will go into the corner. The linesman had his arm up, but here's Tom Mealy, across the line. Jesso at the high slot. Tom Mealy across to Kuznetsov. High slot, fires. Shot saved by Simons. Back to the point. Atwell in his skates doing a great job to keep that in. And now Jay, a 2-on-1 across to Frisura, out of his reach. Back in front. Jay tips it out of the air and scores through the legs of Wilson. 2:59 to go in the second. And it's a 2-goal game again. Jay finally striking here in Danbury as he bats one out of the air, and both teams with a goal of that style now here in the second.
Boy, you talk about hand-eye coordination. That's a full streaking Jay coming down from the right wing and then cutting to the net and tipping that perfectly between the pads of Wilson, going 5-hole, and we're back to a 2-goal game, 6-4, as the teams are not only trading chances, but they're trading goals here in the second period.
Hat-tricks lead by 2, 2:45 to go in the second period. Steered forward into the Prowler zone. Behind the net, Simons. Whistle.
And Dalton Jay with his 10th of the season. He leads the team in that category. Fishura and Federley with the assists. So we see Federley now with 3 assists in the game for the Port Huron Prowlers, and he is lit it up against Danbury this season. Now 12 points in 5 games against Danbury.
Hat-tricks lose the draw in their own zone. Frisura back out in front. Hat-tricks clear to center. There is Federley at center, who takes over across to Johnson. It's tipped in toward Wilson on goal, and that will be covered up with 2:23 to go in the second. 2-goal lead for the Hat-tricks.
And how about Wilson, Josh? A guy came in a .971 save percentage, allowed only 2 goals in his first 3 starts, and he's made a couple good saves tonight, but you look up at the scoreboard, you're like, 14 shots on goal, and he's allowed 4 goals in this one. Not getting a lot of help on those rebounds. I know the last goal wasn't a rebound, but not getting a lot of help in front of his net, mainly on rebounds. There are 3 rebound goals scored by Port Huron in tonight's game.
Here's Ruiz across the line and stopped as Port Huron takes over. I think 3 of the goals, probably a mostly empty net, and there are 2 of them. And then that last goal from Jay as the Hat-tricks get back into their own zone here as Daniluk scoops forward. That last goal from Jay, still an uncovered man in front of the net.
Absolutely, completely uncovered in front of the net.
Played in the air through center. Daniluk settles, and the Hat-tricks outlet. Nice pass through center from Susi to Jesso, and he lost control at the circle. Lazaro barreling in, looking for the puck in the corner, and gets it. Kuznetsov kicks it forward to Jesso, keeps it in the zone. Jesso along the half wall, down low. Lazaro at the goal line, looking to center it out in front. It was stopped. Has it right back, plays it to Kuznetsov, far circle. Spins down low to Lazaro. Backhands into the corner. Jesso chasing after it there. And Suffredini seals him off the puck and scoots out to center. Brown to Atwell and right back into the zone. Kuznetsov reaching for it, is able to grab it. Kuznetsov out in front, Jesso, and he's upended. That'll be a penalty against Port Huron with 57.2 left in the second. 2-goal lead for the Hat-tricks, and a hooking call against the Prowlers sends Danbury to the power play as the period winds down.
Alex Johnson is the guilty party, defenseman, and who makes that play? It's Kuznetsov. He dances with speed, carrying that puck in on left wing. You think he's going to shoot, but then he passes, and that just sets up, Johnson's caught flat-footed, and he's holding and he's hooking, and probably could have been 3 different types of penalties on that call, but he gets whistled for hooking at 19:02. This will be power play number 4 for the Hat-tricks tonight.
Again, this is an aggressive Port Huron penalty kill that has had success here tonight so far. 3 for 4 and a couple chances. 4 shorthanded goals.
And it's not going to be Alex Johnson. He went to the box, but now Cade Lambden has been sent in there, and Johnson heads to the bench.
Port Huron wins the draw, hammers up the board, takes an odd bounce into the Hat-tricks bench. And 5 seconds into the power play, it'll be another face-off in the offensive zone for the Hat-tricks. 52.6 to go in the second. 6-4 Danbury leads, and top unit out for the Hat-Tricks. It's 5 forwards, Ruiz, Bennell, Anderson, and the Mealy brothers, both at the point. Dangerous penalty kill again with Graham, Jay, and Federley both on this PK unit. Hooking the call against Lambden as the Hat-Tricks win the faceoff. Near corner, Anderson. Back to Ruiz, now down low. Anderson again, looking to go to Tom Mealy at the far circle. It was stopped by Federley. Ruiz in the corner, 35 to go in the period. Back to the point, Jay intercepts, and Steve Mealy able to slide down and keep the puck in the zone. Ruiz across to Anderson, tips to Tom Mealy. All the way back out to the top of the zone. It's flagged down by Jay. Steve Mealy will be able to play Ruiz back into the zone. Anderson takes a big hit as he was trying to corral the pass, and it's cleared down with 8 seconds left in the period. Mealy behind his own cage. We'll just let the period run out. There'll be 1:02 left on the power play for the Hat-Tricks when the third period starts, and Danbury will lead 6-4 into the final frame. The Hat-Tricks, not the best period defensively for Danbury, giving up 3 and scoring 2, but a couple of goals. Wilson, you mentioned the save percentage tonight won't be there, but he has made some big saves, and the goals he has given up have been pretty good chances for Port Huron.
Yeah, again, 3 rebounds where guys weren't cleared out in front, and on 2 of those 3, Wilson was down and out. And then the fourth one by Jay was just the beautiful, he cuts to the middle and deflects one between the pads, again, left all alone in front. Danbury's got to tighten it up here, no question. This is a dangerous Port Huron team. They can score. They have the veterans, and it is a veteran-laden lineup. And their best players have played very well against Danbury this season. Graham and Jay each had 10 points in the first 4 games of this season's series against Danbury. Federley, has 3 assists tonight, now 12 points in 5 games against Danbury. So, Danbury doesn't score here on this power play to start the third period. You got a 2-goal game, and Port Huron, they can explode at any minute, or any moment. So certainly don't turn away from this one in the third period. Should be a lot of exciting hockey up ahead.
We'll have the final 20 after this on Hat-Tricks TV, 6-4 after 40 minutes. And the Hat-Tricks take a 2-goal lead into the final frame. We'll be right back here on Hat-Tricks TV. Josh Starr, joined by Jim Cerny, and we're just about ready for the final 20 here from Danbury Arena. 6-4, Hat-Tricks lead after 40, and they will have just about a minute of power play time to go to start the final frame.
Yeah, Danbury raced out to a 3-0 lead in the first period. Then they were up 4-1. It looked like it was going to be a pretty easy night for them. A little bit to sweat out here. They upped that lead to 5-1 early in the second period. But Port Huron has scored 3 out of the last 4 goals. But Danbury will start the third period with 62 seconds remaining on their fourth power play. They are 1 for 3 on the man advantage so far tonight, and seems to be a little bit of a hold-up.
Might be waiting for the ice here.
Yeah, the ice looks a little wet. So they are waiting right there. Jesso and Bunnell each have 2 goals for the Danbury Hat-Tricks tonight. Johnny Ruiz with 2 assists, extending his point streak to each of the 15 games played so far this season. That is pretty impressive. And he and I were talking about it yesterday, and Johnny said, he said, I swear, you're probably going to expect any hockey player to say this, but for me, it's the absolute truth that I don't care if I score or if I get a point or if I extend this point streak, as long as we win. He goes, that's the key. He goes, I don't want to talk about myself. Let's talk about the team and the 5-game winning streak. And that's the type guy that is wearing the C right now for the Hat-Tricks, a guy that's really matured a lot since being a rookie 2 years ago. And Aaron Atwell was telling me exactly that, how Ruiz has always had positions of leadership for all the teams that he's played on. He's always moved into those positions. But, he was the rookie 2 years ago, and he was the hotshot rookie. He had a terrific season. But that was a veteran-laden team, and he really learned a lot of lessons, in that role, kind of, a sub-role, if you will, where he wasn't necessarily the guy. And now he is this year, but he's carrying himself like a very, very much of a seasoned pro. And that is both on the ice and off the ice, and certainly delivering on the ice as we touch on 24 points in 15 games.
Hat-Tricks have 1:02 of a power play left to start the final period, and trying a face-off play from center ice there with the Mealy brothers skating ahead. Anderson able to win it, but the Hat-Tricks will go back in their own zone to start the rush. 50 seconds left on the power play. 15 seconds into the final period. Hat-Tricks up 6-4. Tom Mealy hard around the boards, far side to near side. Anderson leaves it to the point. Steve Mealy across far circle. Ruiz down low. Bunnell looking out in front. Will play it along the boards to the near half wall. Tom Mealy takes over there. Top of the circle. Lost control. And it's spewed all the way down by Port Huron. 40 seconds into the period. 20 left on the Hat-Tricks power play. The first of the night was successful. The last 2 have not been. A turnover for the Hat-Tricks. Dalton J into the Danbury zone, fires a shot, and a glove save from Brian Wilson. 12 seconds left on the power play for the Hat-Tricks.
Gosh, that was exactly what Port Huron is looking for there. Get an opportunity shorthanded, get it on the stick of Dalton J, their leading scorer, and a really good 2-on-1 shorthanded opportunity off the turnover, but turned aside by Brian Wilson.
Steve Brown behind his own net. 5 seconds left on the power play for the Hat-Tricks as Lazaro carries through center, chips into the zone, and out of the box is Cade Lambden. Back to even strength a minute into this third period. Hat-Tricks up 6-4 as Port Huron comes through center. Flag down by Foley across the soilless. Back in front looking for Foley. Daniluk knelt down and was able to stop it. Into the corner, Foley chasing after it out in front. Lambden, the shot stopped by Wilson, and the second save again by Wilson. Out to Suffredini, bottom of the circle. Lambden out in front, stopped again. Susi able to get down on the ice and block it as Lazaro tips the puck, not out of the zone. It's swatted back to Suffredini. Hat-Tricks scrambling in their own end as Foley upended. A pass goes all the way through the slot, and Lazaro carries to center. At the red line, he'll just chip in deep into the Port Huron zone. 2 minutes into the third. 6-4 Hat-Tricks and some hectic moments in front of Brian Wilson, including a couple of big saves for him. Tipped into the zone as the Hat-Tricks retrieve it behind the net. McDonald looking up as Tom Mealy tips in toward goal. Icing waved off. Johnson in the corner in his own end. Stopped by Jackson. Jackson looking out in front for Tom Mealy. It goes behind the net off a body as Johnson will carry out for Port Huron. Steve Mealy stops him at the red line. It's turned back into the corner by Gallagher. McDonald ahead for Jackson. Off to the wing. Steve Mealy had gone off for a change, so Jackson's pass goes right to Johnson. 2.5 into the third. Hat-Tricks up 2. Deep into the Danbury zone. Wilson out of the net, leaving it for McDonald in the corner. It's turned over. It's for Sura there, taking control, and the Hat-Tricks find it. McDonald hammers down. That'll go for icing against the Hat-Tricks. 2:50 into play here in the third. A 2-goal lead for the Hat-Tricks, and man, Wilson scrambling in front. A couple of big blocks as well.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got that big frame, so even when he's down on the pad, he still covers a lot of the net. And, maybe fortunately for him, the shots were low along the ice. He made a couple of really good pad saves. A very scrambling start to the third period for Danbury.
3 minutes in, and a long pass is going to go for another icing against the Hat-Tricks.
Yeah, now 2 icings as well. This is not the start that Dave McIsaac was looking for here in the third period. And, now we see McDonald talking with Wilson, Atwell coming over as well. They need to start cleaning things up a little bit. Port Huron, you can sense it. They're coming, and they're coming with some confidence right now.
Hat-Tricks can't win the draw. It's tipped out, and now the shot from the near board. Stopped by Wilson. Hat-Tricks can't clear, and now it hops over Manzo's stick. Bennell racing forward for it, forcing Manzo back into his own zone. Around the boards, far side, Roseboom scoops ahead, and Anderson intercepts but loses control. For Sura back the other way into the Hat-Trick zone. Graham across looking for Jay. It's off Atwell's stick into the corner. Hat-Tricks take over there. Ruiz ahead for Bennell. Bennell through center, gains the red line, hammers off the linesman. It bounces into the zone. Hat-Tricks changing. Roseboom behind the cage. Off for Manzo. 3:45 into the third. Hat-Tricks up 2. Roseboom up the right wing, through center at the line, flings in off the glass behind the net. Brown plays ahead for the Hat-Tricks. Kuznetsov hammering away, trying to get to center, and he is able to force the puck there. At center, it's Henning who backhands off the boards into the Hat-Trick zone. Atwell steers it forward, gets upended. That'll be a penalty. Here's Kuznetsov in on goal, scores! On the delayed call, Dmitry Kuznetsov fires it over the glove of Simons. 4:10 into the third. The Hat-Tricks extend the lead. It's 7-4 Danbury.
What a finish by Kuznetsov. Let's take a look at this. What a snapshot. He gets it over the blue line between the circles, and that is a wicked wrist shot right over the glove hand of Simons. And now a 3-goal lead for the Danbury Hat-Tricks. And it looks like Port Huron is going to get a penalty. There was going to be a delayed penalty, or there was a delayed penalty. And
that
Lambton
penalty
is in there now.
The goal is not going to negate the penalty.
That's what you call a win-win if you're Danbury. And Henning, the captain of Port Huron, is trying to get an explanation right now. Gordy Bennell is listening in as well. Ruiz and Graham in the mix. How about Kuznetsov? What a finish right there. And he's a guy that, you've called his name a lot tonight. He's been on the puck and he's been skating. He's had some opportunities, but to this point did not have a point in the game. But Kuznetsov scores there, a big goal. He now has 5 goals in 5 games against Port Huron this season, including the hat trick on opening night, of course, right here at Danbury.
Penalty against Lambton is going to be elbowing and an unsportsmanlike conduct. Hat-Tricks in toward goal. Shot high and wide. Out to center. 10 seconds into a Ferrer Electric power play. Hat-Tricks turn it over. Jay in toward goal and lost control. Back to the point. Suffredini tipped wide by Graham. Hat-Tricks will retrieve in their own zone. 30 seconds into the power play. And just about 5 minutes into this third period, the Hat-Tricks have a crucial goal from Dmitry Kuznetsov at 4:10 of this third period. Bennell in, leading by 3, off to Anderson, behind the net. Ruiz chasing after it, hops over his stick. It's pushed forward. Mealy pinching is able to keep it in, and it goes behind the cage. Hat-tricks in the process of changing power play units. Graham from his own blue line flings toward goal, and Wilson stops that to the side of the cage. Gallagher retrieves in his own zone behind the net halfway through the power play. Gallagher leaves it across to Lazaro at the blue line, cutting in at the left circle, upended, and it's cleared down the ice. 40 seconds left on the power play for Danbury. Wilson leaving the puck for Gallagher, dropping it for Kuznetsov, just scoring his 13th of the year. Fresh back from his loan up to the SPHL. He gets back on the score sheet. He's stopped in center, though. Gallagher right back in. Chips off the glass and deep into the corner himself. Chasing behind the net. Has the puck on the near corner now. Back to Atwell at the half wall. Surveying to the right point. His pass intercepted, and Johnson clears to center. Williams skating forward against Atwell. His pass across for Soilis out of his reach. 5 seconds left on the power play for the Hat-tricks. Kuznetsov drops it back behind his own cage, and that will do it for the power play. 7-4 Hat-tricks lead, 13:45 to go in regulation. Jesso up through the left wing at the red line. Chips it off Roseboom, who settles the puck and pushes it down low into his own zone. He'll sauce ahead for Foley, who starts the breakout, dropping for Crawford. Crawford deep into the Hat-tricks end. Near side corner, Lambden taken off the puck hard by Susi. Going into the corner awkwardly. Daniluk finds the puck and pushes forward for Jackson. Jackson through center, 1-on-2, across the Port Huron line, and tries to filter through to Daniluk. It goes all the way through. Daniluk's shot from below the goal line stopped, and Port Huron will outlet. Lambden loses control to Susi, whose feed for Jackson out of his reach. 7 minutes into the third. Hat-tricks up 3. Susi retreating into his own zone, and will leave off for Steve Brown. Tipped into the zone by Tom Mealy. Hat-tricks getting the top line out on the ice. Ruiz in on the forecheck, can't grab Henning, as he'll outlet through center off the left wing. It's Graham. Graham out in front looking for Jay. It's sticked away. Graham has it right back, feeding Henning, and he scores through the short side on Wilson. And that will make it a 2-goal game once again.
I mean, you just can't put them away.
Dustin Henning gets his second of the year. 12:31 to go in the third. 7-5 Hat-tricks lead. And that one, we've talked about the men left open in front. That one I think is going to be one Wilson wants back.
Yeah, he definitely wants that one back there. And see Stevie Brown turns around at the blue line and gives the thumbs up to Wilson. Says, hang in there, man. Got 12:24 to go. Who knows what's going to happen in that stretch of time?
Anderson across the blue line, fires high and wide, off the glass, out to the point, Atwell. Atwell out to Ruiz. The tip couldn't connect, and it's out to center. Steve Brown retrieves at his own blue line. Back to Ruiz at the center ice logo, circling at the red line, fires from there inside of the goal. It goes wide, and Suffredini will take over. 12 minutes to play in regulation. Hat-tricks up 2. Cross-ice feed for Port Huron out of the reach of Jay and in for icing into the Hat-trick zone. 11:52 to play in the third. 7-5 Hat-tricks, and you're right. We're coming in for a landing here in the third.
Yeah, it's been crazy. Here in the third period, 2 goals so far at 4:10. Kuznetsov, his 13th of the season. He's second on the team, trailing Ruiz by a goal. Unassisted at 4:10. Then at 7:29 for Port Huron, Henning his second from Graham and Jay.
Hat-tricks on the puck in the offensive zone. Kuznetsov trying to keep it alive. It's out to center. Gallagher back into his own zone, all the way behind the net. Jay was right on him. He'll play it safe and start the breakout once more. Off to Lazaro, left wing, through center, across the line, feeding to Jesso, who tries to bank it off the boards to himself, but was upended. He forces the turnover. Lazaro right circle, all the way across, looking for Kuznetsov. The one-timer stopped by Simons. That puck, the pass was slowed down, but the Hat-tricks still able to get a shot away. 11:18 to play in the third. A 2-goal lead for Danbury.
But what that deflection did on the pass, Josh, is it allowed Simons to get across left to right across his crease and square himself to the shot. Had it not been deflected and Kuznetsov was able to get off that one-timer, it would have been a much more difficult save.
Mealy unable to win the draw. Federley scoops to center and taken by Frisura there. Across, and it's offside at the line. 11:09 to play in the third. A 2-goal lead for the Hat-Tricks, and a neutral zone draw coming up. Hat-Tricks win the draw with Steve Mealy. Back to Jackson. Now Steve Mealy at the red line. Plays in deep. All the way in. That will go for icing. They'll say he didn't get the line with 11 minutes to go in the third. A 2-goal lead.
Doesn't it feel like, Josh, that Steve Mealy has won every faceoff he's taken tonight? How many times you've said, and Mealy wins the draw, and Steve Mealy wins the draw? I mean, we don't get those numbers up here, but I mean, he has just been dominant in the faceoff circle. Now he's got to take a big faceoff at his own end, and he loses that one on the quick drop.
Shot from Federley at the point and stopped by Wilson. Mealy didn't like the way that puck was dropped.
Absolutely not, and he has reason to complain.
Was not ready for that draw at all. 10:45 to play. Federley back through center. Plays into the near corner. Hat-trick zone. Graham finds it for Port Huron. Back behind the net, Federley. Out in front. Anderson intercepts for the Hat-Tricks. Swats it forward for Atwell. Atwell churning through center at the right circle. Cutting in, looking for a shot. Fanned on it. Puck right back to him at the slot. Down low. Bunnell trying to roof it. It's off of Simons and wide. Frisura right back the other way, right to left through center ice. Off to Federley, who will chip in to the Hat-Tricks end. 10:15 to play in regulation. McDonald behind his own net. Banks it to Bunnell across the Port Huron line. Stuffs it behind the cage and will go off for a change halfway through the third. 7-5 Hat-Tricks. Johnson on the puck for Port Huron. Through center, Lambden tips out of the air deep into the Hat-Trick zone. McDonald in the far corner, plays it aside for Gallagher. Up the right wing is Kuznetsov across the red line and will chip in deep toward the Port Huron zone. Behind the net, Jesso looking for it. Kuznetsov finds it in the corner, plays it behind for Jesso. Jesso behind the cage will work against 2 Prowlers and work the puck free to Kuznetsov. Kuznetsov drops it right back into that far corner for Jesso. One-touch pass for Lazaro. At the point, McDonald, D-to-D, Gallagher, right point, winding, blasting, and it's stopped. The rebound, Kuznetsov scores! His second of the night, 14th of the year, and it's a 8-5 Hat-Tricks lead. 9:21 to go in regulation, a 3-goal lead once again for Danbury.
Nobody picks up Kuznetsov in the slot. He is wide open on the rebound, and he just hammered it past Simons. And it looks like Simons is going to be coming out of the game.
Yeah, Richard Shipman coming into the game. His first action of the season.
And it's going to be his first professional action period. He's a rookie from Stony Brook University. Kind of a local guy there, a local school, or I shouldn't say local, not far away on Long Island.
Hat-Tricks win the face-off, up 8-5, 9:15 to go. Jackson right into the zone. Quick shot high and wide over Shipman, and Port Huron will take over. 8 goals for the Hat-Tricks, but the game doesn't feel over yet. Only up 3 here, and teams have been trading goals back and forth for the last 20 or so minutes of this game. In the near corner of the Port Huron zone, Suffredini carries ahead and is tripped up by Jackson. The Hat-Tricks are going to head to the penalty kill here with 8:47 left in the third. 8-5, Hat-Tricks leading. We'll step aside here prior to the penalty kill for the Hat-Tricks. We'll be right back. 8-5 Danbury with 8:47 to go in regulation.
You want the best, now you got it. Jersey Mike's is here at Danbury Arena. Get your sandwich on the concourse level, and be sure to stop by at their locations at both Brookfield and Ridgefield. Jersey Mike's, wow, that's good, and you can wash it down with the Coca-Cola, the official beverage of the Danbury Hat-Tricks. Our Coke will make you smile.
Hat-Tricks head to the penalty kill and are unable to win the draw. This is a dangerous power play for Port Huron. Already has a goal tonight. At the center point, Johnson across Federley, tipped in front. Graham, I think Wilson got a stick on that, and now the Hat-Tricks go the other way. Ruiz through center, across the line, swing to the circle, the shot just wide of the net. Bunnell finds the puck in the corner and works it free. Anderson right off the bench takes over in the half wall, and the Hat-Tricks half a minute into this penalty kill will play it right back toward their own zone. Atwell finds it there and clears all the way down. Good penalty killing from Danbury over the first 40 seconds of this kill. 8:05 to go in the third. 8-5, Hat-Tricks lead. Through center, Graham upended at the circle in the Hat-Trick zone. He finds the puck and drops it for Federley. Federley sneaking back to the line. Now Jay left circle. Down low, Graham out to Federley, center point, winds blast, tipped in front, stopped by Wilson, rebound from Graham, and Wilson able to make that second stop as well. 7:46 to go in the third, halfway through the penalty kill, and the Hat-Tricks are still up 3.
Good job by Wilson there, standing strong in the net. He made the first good save, which was on a deflection, and the puck squirted out just a little bit off his pads, and a couple whacks at it there by Johnson, I believe, and he was able to stay strong along the goal line and keep the puck out of his net. But meanwhile, looks like Anderson, after the play, I believe it was after the whistle on a cross-check, and Anderson is hot. He's in the box, but he is hot, screaming at the official, and now it looks like it will be coincidental minors.
There's 2 Prowlers going to the box.
That's more than coincidental.
That's Graham and Johnson.
That's multi-coincidental.
This might be 3-on-3 for 59 seconds. Then the Hat-Tricks would get a 4-on-3 power play. We'll see what
very
the
strange
exact calls are.
Typically, you don't see something like this unless, there's a fight or some sort of scrum. And there was a little pushing and shoving out there. And, I think Anderson, was a big part of it with the hit that came after the final save there, after the whistle. But typically, you don't see 3 minor penalties go up on the board at the same time. So they're still sorting this out. Johnny Ruiz shaking his head, but he's coming back to the bench to explain to Dave McIsaac what the calls are.
So they just took the Anderson and Johnson minors off the board. So that might be more than a minor. In this case, it would be 4-on-4 for a minute. Then the Hat-Tricks would have a power play for a minute. As it stands on the board right now, just the 59 seconds left on Jackson's minor and 2 minutes on Matt Graham. The faceoff is going to come into the Port Huron zone. Faceoff will come to the left of Shipman, who is fresh into the game. Ruiz, Bunnell, Atwell, and Brown out for the Hat-Tricks. Jay for Sura, Henning, and Sufferdini out for Port Huron. Sura wins the draw to Henning, who chips ahead. Glove down by Atwell at the red line, and it's turned forward to Bunnell. Inside the blue line, will push down low for Ruiz in the corner. Ruiz pinned up against the boards. Puck comes free. Bunnell now in the corner has it. Carrying out one-timer. Ruiz kicked away by Shipman. And out to the point. D-to-D. Brown on the right point. Tip in front. And 2 players there for the Hat-Tricks. But the tip was stopped by Shipman. Sura at the red line. Stopped by Ruiz. Now Brown lays a hit. And Atwell takes the puck over in his own zone. Jay glued to his back. 40 seconds in to the penalty to Graham. 20 seconds left on Jackson's minor before the Hat-Tricks get a power play. Out to the neutral zone. Suffredini across to Frisura at the left circle, stopped by Brown. Out in front, Frisura finds the rebound. Jackson's out of the box. Hat-tricks on a power play right now, 5-on-4, as Brown plays ahead for Jackson out of his reach. Federley takes it at his own line, settling a rolling puck at the far circle in the Port Huron zone. Will take it right behind the net. 45 seconds left on a Ferrer Electric power play for the Hat-tricks. Stopped in the neutral zone. Kuznetsov plays ahead for Tom Mealy. At the left circle to Steve in the slot. Turning back at the point. Gallagher, right point. Stopped by Soilis. It's played down low behind the net. Federley drops it for Suffredini, who gets by Kuznetsov and clears to center. 18 seconds left on the power play. Soilis at center. Stopped by Gallagher at the line and turned back toward the hat-trick zone. 9 seconds left on the penalty. 5:52 in regulation. Hat-tricks leading 8-5. Out of the box is Graham. And the Hat-tricks and Prowlers back at even strength here. Finberg through center, across the line, drops at the right circle, hits into Graham, and the Hat-tricks find the puck, playing it into the far corner. Cleared out to center, all the way down. This will go for icing against Port Huron with 5:27 to go in the third. 8-5 Hat-tricks, and Anderson and Johnson will exit the box now. There was a cross-check for Anderson and a slash for Johnson, and then a misconduct for Graham, who served the 2-minute minor.
Danbury now 1 for 6 on the power play. They converted easily on their first power play, but then 0 for 5 since.
Atwell fires a shot from the point off of Shipman's glove and wide. 5:20 to go in regulation. Frisura at the Hat-tricks line, bodied by Brown, and Kuznetsov will turn back with the puck. Through center, speeding across the line at the right circle, fires, blockered away by Shipman. Jesso rebound all the way through the goal mouth into the corner. Brown has it right point, down low for Finberg. Kuznetsov finds the puck, playing it across, looking for Jesso behind the net. It's intercepted by Federley and cleared through center. Out from Finberg to Jesso through center, has Jay glued to his back. Jesso still working his way in, trying to go between the legs, and it was stopped by Shipman. Almost the second miraculous goal from Jesso in this game, but it was stopped by Shipman. We'll step aside. 4:43 to play in regulation. 8-5 Hat-tricks lead.
Nico's Pizza and Pasta, located on Main Street. It's East meets West at Nico's. Try them for lunch, taste them for dinner. Pizza and hibachi, meet and you will never be the same. Nico's on Main Street. And we didn't get a chance to recap the most recent Danbury goal that made it 8-5. It came at 10:39. Kuznetsov, second of the game, second of the third period, and 14th of the season. Gallagher and McDonald with the assists, and those two defensemen join the point parade tonight. Gonna have to add up how many guys have at least 1 point.
Hat-tricks win the draw. Susi fires in toward goal. It stopped at the side of the net, cleared up the far boards, and the Hat-tricks can't control. Through center, Lambden into the Hat-tricks end. 4.5 to play in regulation. Daniluk in the far corner. Pinning Foley up against the boards. Puck stays alive in the zone. Shot trickles in toward Wilson. He's able to make the stop. And it's in the near corner now. Ruiz comes away with it for the Hat-tricks, and a penalty called against Danbury. Interference on Dimitri Daniluk. 4:12 to go in the third. 8-5 Hat-tricks lead, and treading dangerously here, the Hat-tricks are late.
And Daniluk heads to the box. 14 different Hat-trick skaters have a point in today's game. And I guess, you get 8 goals. I guess you kind of figure everybody's going to be chipping in. But 14 different hat-trick skaters have recorded at least 1 point in tonight's game. Right now an 8-5 lead. 3 different hat-tricks have scored 2 goals.
Steve Mealy wins the draw in his own zone on the penalty kill, and Tom is able to clear down the ice. There goes Steve with another face-off win. 10 seconds in to this penalty kill. Daniluk off for interference. 4 minutes to play in the third period. Hat-trick's up 8-5. Through center, it's Foley across the line to Frisura. Left circle, fires off the shoulder of Wilson and out to center off the glass. Half a minute in to the penalty kill for the Hat-tricks. Going behind his own net is Suffredini. At the far circle now, slowly skating out of his own zone. Dropping it back for Henning. At his own blue line, leaving it for Soilis at the red line. Stopped by Brown at the Hat-tricks line. It's kept in by Soilis, played down low. Sticked at the side of the net from Wilson. Atwell hammers around the boards and down the ice. Halfway through the power play for Port Huron. 3:15 to go in regulation. 8-5 Hat-tricks lead. Through center ice, Soilis. Across the Hat-tricks line. At the right circle, skating in on goal wraparound. Stopped by Wilson as he slid across. And the Hat-tricks take the puck and clear it off the glass. Atwell all the way down the ice. In on Shipman, who will cover up with 42 seconds left on the power play. 2:54 in regulation. Hat-tricks up 3. Big save there on the wraparound from Wilson.
Yeah, I think that's Wilson's best save of the night. In fact, that's the best save in the game tonight. And in a game in which there have been 13 goals, yeah, we're not going to highlight the goalies too much, but that was a heck of a stop by Wilson, bursting across his crease and getting the pad down in time on the wraparound attempt.
Hat-tricks needing Wilson to make a few stops late here in this third period. He's been able to do so. Tom Mealy upended at center, but the Hat-tricks clear down the ice. Mealy brothers on the penalty kill here with Gallagher and Lazaro. Through center, Johnson across the Hat-tricks line, right circle, skating down low behind. 10 seconds left on the power play for Port Huron. Mealy converges on Johnson in the near corner, coming away with the puck, Tom Mealy, and clears it all the way down, and that will do it for the power play. Daniluk out of the box, back at even strength. 2:08 to go into the third. Hat-tricks up 3. Atwell in his own corner. Far side coming around the near side of the net and out to center. Carrying through, tips it to himself. Atwell through center at the right circle over skates. Now has a shot. It's high and wide and out to center. Brown takes over at the red line. His pass stopped by Johnson. Through for Jay off a skate, and Atwell takes control. Jesso tips forward to Kuznetsov. 1:40 to go in regulation, and Kuznetsov trying to chip into the zone. It goes out of play with 1:38 left. Hat-tricks up 3, and now maybe he can breathe a little bit easier.
Yeah, you would think so at the minute 38 to go. And now just thinking ahead to tomorrow as these two teams meet again tomorrow, the second of 3 straight here at Danbury Arena. Wonder if Richard Shipman might get his first start. He has looked very sharp since coming to the game. He's had to make 3 very, very difficult saves since replacing Simons between the pipes. He's looked good.
Port Huron wins a draw in front of Shipman and clears to center. Hat-tricks right back toward Port Huron ice. Puck hops in the air at the Hat-tricks line, and Brown able to control it. 1:15 to play in the third. Brown going behind his own net to Gallagher, who will chip high off the glass to center. Jesso trying to flag it down, cannot. It's back toward Hat-tricks ice. Into the zone, Crawford. Tipped away. Crawford now back out in front. Couldn't grab the pass. And into the last minute of regulation. Jesso dropping it for Gallagher. Inside his own line. Ahead for Finberg. Kuznetsov has it go behind his stick and out to Soilis. Soilis into the Hat-trick zone. 45 seconds left. Finberg finds it, can't clear. Suffredini across to Crawford, and the Hat-tricks able to intercept. And Jesso chips to the red line at center. Suffredini leaving to the right wing. Soilis into the zone. 30 seconds left. Pass off the side of the net. Hits behind the boards and off to Brown, who plays up the near side. Out to Foley in front, Suffredini, and it's Soilis who scores. 15 seconds left in the third period. 8-6 the score, as another wide open player in front of Brian Wilson able to pot it. Soilis able to score his third of the year, and it's 8-6 late in the third.
Well, the former hat trick forward, Stavros Soilos, all alone there. And I'm sure Wilson is not happy to see another one go in. Just an uncontested goal, really. And I'm sure Dave McIsaac not happy about it either.
Out at center, Hat-Tricks win the draw. It's tipped forward, and at the Port Huron line, they'll fan on a pass. It's Roseboom turning back with 2 seconds left, and now Manzo with one, and the time expires. Hat-Tricks win 8-6 here on home ice. 6 consecutive victories for Danbury. The offense showed up tonight. The defense not as great in this contest, but it's still 3 points for the Hat-Tricks. 11 wins now on the season and 32 points, keeping pace with Watertown up at the top of the league.
Yeah, Josh, that's the most important thing is that they get the 3 points and they continue to pile up the wins and the points. But I'm sure Dave McIsaac and the coaching staff are going to talk to the team, tonight and certainly pregame tomorrow and say, hey, we can't be playing this kind of wide open game, and we got to be much tighter defensively, which, Josh, they had been. In the first 5 games of this winning streak, they had, they had allowed only 6 goals in those 5 games. And now they give up 6 in one game tonight, but they score 8, and the winning streak is up to 6. But I would hazard a guess that they're going to play a much tighter defensive game tomorrow night at Danbury Arena in the rematch.
The games between these two teams this season have seemed to have been offensive affairs so far, and it continued tonight. The Hat-Tricks will look to make it 7 tomorrow with a win again as this series continues. The middle game of the series coming up tomorrow night at 7 here in Danbury Arena. The Hat-Tricks with a lot of offense and not as much defense as they would like, but still come away with an 8-6 victory. We'll say goodnight for now. It's 8-6. The Hat-Tricks win. For Jim Cerny, I'm Josh Starr. We'll be back tomorrow night for Game 2 of this set between the Hat-Tricks and the Prowlers. Thanks for joining us. The Hat-Tricks extend the win streak to 6 here on Thursday night. 8-6, Danbury wins.